This is Chris Kelly with your Modelfit Workout A Block 1. Alright, so for this phase, we're going to incorporate a little bit harder core circuit by incorporating what we call a core strength exercise into the circuit. Alright, so for this, my first exercise is going to be a straight leg sit-up. Alright, with the straight leg sit-up, I'm actually going to perform kind of movement of the torso, whereas before we were kind of trying to keep the back flat. I'm actually going to sit up. I want to keep the back flat, but I'm going to come up like a V here. So what I want to do is pick a spot in the ceiling, grip it with my hands, get my legs wide. That's going to give me a little bit more stability. Press everything into the ground, get tight, sit straight up. Right. The key is that I'm not bouncing off the floor. So I'm moving very, very slowly with control. Okay, and again, to make this a little bit easier, I can hold on to something like a bench or even a wall to give me a little bit of assistance. But the key is that we're not bouncing off the floor. All right, so we've got 30 seconds of a straight leg sit-up, followed by a plank march. Okay, so for the plank march, once again, we're familiar with this. I'm going to come into plank position here, tucking my elbows in. I'm just marching up and down, pausing, just like that. All right, from here, I'm just going to come down, rest for a second, come immediately back into a plank knee tuck, where I'm tucking my knees in, pausing, kind of more out to the side this time, so I don't arch around my back. All right, I'm going to end, all right, with a, let's see, we've got a plank with a leg extension here. So with a plank with a leg extension, I'm just going to come onto my back. Again, hands under my back, press my knees together, abs are tight, and just extend out just like this. All right, the key is to keep constant tension on the muscle the entire time, keep the abs tight, and once again, I've got 30 seconds in each position there. All right, from there, I'm going to go into my two strength training moves. We're cutting down the moves this time. We're also bringing the rep range down a little bit this phase. So we have 6 to 8 reps versus 8 to 12. Once again, pick a weight that is fairly heavy in nature. And for this phase, we're going to move up onto a bench. All right, we're going to do this on what is called a low incline. So with a low incline, I'm just going to incline the bench up around #2. Okay, so for this, straighten these up. Coming into this neutral position. Here I want to come up fast, control the lowering, down fairly slowly, pause at the bottom. Get kind of a little stretch in the bottom there. Up fast, down slow, pause. And just think about keeping my shoulder blades tucked down and back. I don't want to bring the dumbbells too far up because then I start to use my neck. So once again, pause at the top, pause at the bottom. Move with control. All right, now for our second exercise, with a lat pull. All right, for the lat pull, I'm just going to come on my knees here. And pull down, just like in the last phase. The difference this time is that I'm doing a one-arm pull. So it's the same deal, just going to be using one arm this time. So from here, what I'm going to do, come into this position, chest up, one down, just like this. Notice my elbows tucked into my side. You can bring the hands here, kind of deload for a second as you come up, and then really tuck the elbow in. Get to that position of stability, shoulder blade stays down and back, that's good. That's what we want, really squeeze the lat the entire time. And again, I'm looking for 6 to 8 reps on each side. All right, so we have 3 rounds of our strengths, or of our core circuit, 3 sets of 30 seconds, 3 sets of 6 to 8 reps of these back to back, and then we either move on to our strengths, or we move on to our body weight circuit, or we perform it later on. So that's your block A.